Hey guys, B-Man Lemon here, and today I'm going to be redoing the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe item tier list I made a few years back. Not exactly sure uh, how long ago it was, but yeah, here we go. I ordered these from left to right, basically how they are in the item menu from the game, so here we go. Alright, Banana Peel. You can use it for protection, and if you're a little bit more skilled, you can use it for sniping. It's pretty good defensive-wise, so I would give it a nice C tier. Next are triple bananas. It's 3 bananas, but they circle around you, giving for some good area denial, but they aren't too special. However, they are still pretty great defensively, so I'd give them a solid B tier. The green shell, you can fire it forward or back. Now, there's also a mechanic in the game called smart bouncing, where basically it kind of auto locks onto players, even yourself, which is stupid. But it's also pretty good defensively, so I'm actually going to put it above the triple bananas. Next are triple green shells. It's the same thing as green shells, except you get 3 of them. It's better defensively and better area denial, since your opponents will flip over instead of spinning out. But you do have a bit more of a chance to get hit by your own triple greens, and you normally get them in the middle of the pack, so it may not be exactly what you're looking for. So for now, I'm going to put it at the very top of B. Next is the red shell. You get it near the middle to the front of the pack, and it auto-locks onto the person ahead of you. If they don't have defense, they're almost pretty much screwed, and most of the game is just circled around red shells, and you notice how much I complain about people getting multiple red shells behind me while I'm front running. Which, yeah, it sucks for me. And I'm pretty sure nobody can disagree with me that triple red shells are also S tier. It also has great defensive capabilities. Oh, I also forgot to mention you can also hold the red shell, green shell, and green shell behind you for defensive capabilities. But yeah, triple red shells are pretty much just the same as triple greens, except well, you can get them in second, and they're stupid. It's almost a guaranteed hit. Mentioning the fact that you can get them in the middle of the pack. Next is the blue shell, or spiny shell as it's officially called. It's not what you'd like to get. You normally get it in the middle or the back of the pack. It travels to first place, and it travels along the ground, but mostly in a set path, so players can mostly avoid it, so I'm going to be putting it in the D tier. Next is the Ba-Bomb. It's basically a banana, but it goes boom. It has a pretty good explosion radius, and if you get it in first place, you're basically almost guaranteed to hit the person behind you, so just because of that, and it can be very deadly in the right hands, I'm honestly also going to give it an S tier. Lower than the red shell, because red shells don't require aim, but yeah. Next is the mushroom. Don't know why I said R, but you get a little speed boost, and you can take shortcuts, and if you just get hit, you can use it to get back to full speed and acceleration. I would probably say it's solid B tier. I'm not sure exactly where to put it. Maybe above green shell, because you can do a lot with it. One mushroom goes a long way. You can take a shortcut, you can go back to full speed. It's pretty versatile, however, it provides 0 protection, but the speed boost is still pretty nice. Next is triple mushrooms. You get 3 mushrooms, however, they do circle around you, and opponents can get the speed boost from them. However, it's not as effective as if you were to use the mushroom, and they don't hit other players. But either way, having the ability to take multiple shortcuts is really good, and you can get rid of them pretty quickly, unlike our next item, which is the golden mushroom. It is infinite mushrooms for a limited amount of time, but once you have started to use it, you can't really get rid of it until the timer runs out. And there normally aren't too many shortcuts back to back on many tracks. However, where the golden mushroom really shines is certain tracks like Calamari Desert, Cheese Land, and Dry Desert. So it's great for smuggling on tracks with a lot of off-road, but I would probably give it the edge to the mushroom. Next is the Bullet Bill. You transform into a Bullet Bill, and the game just kind of auto-plays itself for a little while, and you get a little bit of invincibility, which is amazing. Nobody can probably deny that it's one of the best items in the game, so I'm going to be putting it above Triple Red Shells in S tier. In some tracks, such as Cheeseland, for example, there are Bullet Bill extensions, which make your Bullet Bill last longer, as if it didn't, it'd just kind of drop you in an awkward spot. And if you get it at the back of the pack, pretty much if you're in the back of the pack, you're almost always praying to get a Bullet Bill. Alright, next up is the Blooper, which is pretty bad. You use it, and everybody in front of you gets ink on their screen, which messes up their traction and limits their vision a little bit, but any slightly experienced player will not get affected too much by a Blooper, and you get it in the middle of the pack, which is where you'll want to be getting stuff like red shells, red shells, mushrooms, and other items. Hold on, I need a drink of water. Okay, next up is the Lightning Bolt. You use it and everybody on the field that isn't you gets shrunken down and loses all their items, unless you are invincible. Using the shock is very strategic. You can mess up somebody's run really easily, especially if you're playing in a team environment, which I actually do want to mention here. If you are playing in a teams mode, the shock will only hit the enemy team. Everybody on your team will be perfectly okay. So this is probably one of the hardest items for me to rank, but it's still very powerful in the right hands. I would probably put it above the red shell, just because of how deadly it can really be. It is one of probably 3 or 4 items that you're going to be praying you get in the back. Next is the Superstar. You gain invincibility and a little bit extra speed, and maxed out acceleration for a little bit, which makes it really good. You can use it offensively. You can use it decently offensively, and it's probably one of the best defensive items in the game. It is pretty strong, so I would probably put it above the Lightning Bolt. It's good for shortcuts, and it's kind of what the Golden Mushroom really wants to be. Next is the Fire Flower. You get a bunch of fireballs, which are similar to green shells. They are a bit smaller, but you get spinned out. And I think smart bouncing also may be applied to the fireballs. Either way, they can be pretty deadly once all of them are spammed at once, forwards or backwards. And they're pretty good defensive items, can pretty much render triple red shells useless if you're getting attacked with them. So I would probably put it either below or above green shells or bottom of A tier. So I'm just going to take a moment to think. Well, since they are a little bit harder to use defensively and slightly offensively, I'm going to put them just below green shells in B tier. Next is the Boomerang Flower. You get to throw a boomerang that ignores any shells or bananas, so it'll go straight through them. So if you throw a boomerang at anybody who's currently defending themselves with anything but a bomb or a crazy 8, they will be hits no matter what. And you get to throw it 3 times. The first time you throw it, it'll come back to you, same with the second time. But the third time you throw it, it'll never come back, and it'll go farther than its original distance. I'd say this is one of the best offensive items in the game, so I'm going to put it right below the triple mushrooms in A tier. Next up is the Piranha Plants. A Piranha Plant attaches to the front of your cart, and you can bite items, racers, and even the Blooper, rendering it completely useless, so yeah, that's not looking good for the Blooper at all. However, its one glaring flaw, actually 2 glaring flaws, is like the Fire Flower and Golden... Well, not exactly fire flowers, since you can spam them really quickly, whereas golden mushroom has a timer. The piranha plant also has a timer, and the second glaring weakness is it can't be good. It's not good for backwards defense. For frontwards defense, it's pretty amazing at its job, but with the timer and the inability to defend yourself from behind is pretty bad. I also want to mention that it kind of auto locks onto things in front of it. So if you have, like, say a coin or just a racer that's slightly in front, just slightly to the side, the piranha plant will automatically lock onto them, and it gives you a small speed boost every time. So I think this is fitting for the piranha plant. Next is the super horn. Now everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's the best item in the game. It can or maybe not best. It's one of the best items in the game. It defends the blue shell." Yeah, but how often are you realistically gonna get a super horn to block a blue shell? Probably 1 in every 10 races, but besides its ability to destroy the blue shell, it's actually pretty good defensively. It creates a shockwave around you for a short amount of time, and just like the boomerang, it ignores defensive items, besides the bomb. Oh, also one thing I do want to mention about the boomerang, it can be destroyed by certain items, like, I think, the bomb, star, like, some items are able to destroy it. But yeah, I would say the super horn goes in solid A tier below the Boomerang Flower. It's probably one of the scariest area denial tools, besides maybe triple red shell. Next is the Crazy 8. You get 8 items surrounding you, being the coin, banana, green shell, red shell, blooper, star, and bomb, and mushroom. If used very strategically, it can be not only a star, but also a red shell, a coin, a blooper that can help out, a bomb. It's one of the most versatile items in the game, and if used correctly, it can be one of the best items in the game. Otherwise, I'd probably just say it's better than just a slight edge to the star, but theoretically, I think it's the best item in the game. And unlike the bullet bill, you can control where it goes. Next is the coin. It gives you 2 coins, and that's it. While most players would immediately think it's the worst item in the game, coins are, in fact, very important in this game. Having 10 coins makes your cart go a significant amount faster than if you don't have 10 coins. So coins are actually pretty useful in this game. Not enough to save it from being one of the worst items in the game, but it can be a lifesaver in certain situations. Well, more often not than life-saving. I don't know. Fucking up my words there. I'm actually going to rank the feather last and move on to the boo. The boo turns you invincible and steals an item from a random player in front of you. Except for another boo and a crazy 8. So you can use it to avoid a lot of items on the track, however, with no offensive capabilities like the star, and unlike the star, it doesn't give you a speed boost. However, I would still say it's a pretty decent item, and its invincibility is quite handy. Now, for its inconsistencies, you're normally going to be getting in the middle of the pack, so you're more likely to steal first place's coin, more the lackluster items rather than like a bullet bill or a shock, even though it's still a possibility as you can get a boo in lower placements. I'm going to put it in... this is actually kind of tough. Maybe... maybe in B tier. I'll put it in here for now, and maybe if I have a different opinion later. Next is the feather item. You launch yourself into the air, and you can hit other players, which can steal their coins or a balloon. It's similar to a mushroom, but it's exclusive to battle mode. I'd say it's pretty okay. I'd maybe say it's above the banana. because it can be used defensively. You can hop over stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the tier list, although maybe if I were to like balance things out, I could like mess around. I don't know, but like this is where I'm gonna keep it for now. You can like switch things around if you wanted to yourself, but like this is just my opinion and based on how I play the game. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and why not subscribe? Hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload or stream, and I'll see y'all next time. Okay, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. I'm not playing Casa 2.0 on the channel unless it's your nightmare, lol.